As I said, I've been trying to work out how to do or get a solar panel on. I've worked it out. Well, I think I have anyway. So the plan is that I've got this panel here. It's a 400 watt flexible panel. You can glue them straight to the roof, but ideally they need to be up off the roof to let air flow underneath them apparently, and it just stops them from getting too hot. And I think if they get too hot, it can affect the capability of them. So anyway, I've got this here, and I've got an old frame from doing the other boat that I made, and then realised I could have done it differently, so I threw that away. But I've gone and dug it out of the scrap pile, and we're going to cut that up and make a small frame for this, and then mount it up off the roof a bit so to get some airflow. I've got my frame here. This is the one I stuffed up. Well, I didn't actually stuff it up. I worked out I could get another solar panel on the roof of the other boat. So this one became obsolete. We made a new one up, and I've got 3 panels, whereas this is only a 2-panel one, but I'm just going to scrap this one or modify it to suit and sand it up and get it ready to take over to the young fella that I used to make up my sheet metal to weld it up later in the week. So we'll get organised and cut this up. Ready for welding. I've just got to cut 2 side strips out of a bit of 50 by 50, and they'll bolt onto the sides here. This will bolt down through the frame. Might put the odd dab of silicone just in the middle of that panel just to stop it lifting a little bit, but it won't go anywhere. So it's all pretty good. I'll just cut these 50/50s, which will just be the same length of those. They'll bolt to the roof of the boat, and then this will bolt through that. So it'll be up probably, I don't know, 15-20 mil off the roof, so it'll have plenty of air circulation. It's all cut out, ready to go. Later in the week I'll go over to Pete's and he'll weld it up for me. Just got to give it a little bit of a clean up so that he doesn't bitch and complain when he's welding. If there's too much paint near where he's welding, he hates it. He goes off. But anyway, we'll clean that up and we'll get it welded, and then we'll clean it up again. Clean the welds up. Not that I have to. He's pretty good on the neat welding, and it'll be ready for powder coating. And we can send that off with some of the other stuff we're doing. I got me new seat base welded up last night. So I'm going to give it a bit of a grind up, and then we'll see if we can fit it in and mount the base and get that sorted so that we can sand it up and send it off to be powder coated. Let's see if we can go and fit the seat. Drill 4 holes in it, and I'll eventually put bolts in it, but to set the seat up, I'm just going to put a Tech screw in there and just hold it in place, and then later on I'll bolt it. I think maybe the screws will be okay. We'll wait and see. But I'll go and mark that and drill those holes. Doesn't need bolts, that is solid as. Got it pretty close to where I need it to be. Just going to get some measurements so that I can drill some holes for the base plate, because I can't just put screws in this one because of the seat setup. I just can't get in there, so I'll have to take the seat off the base plate and then drill the holes, and then put the base plate back on the seat, and then try and get some bolts through it and see where we go from there. Okay. I'll take that off now and go and find some bolts to bolt this seat onto. I'm doing the other boat. I ended up with quite a lot of stainless steel bolts and bits and pieces left over. You go looking for bolts that you know you've bought, can't find them. So you go and buy some more, and then the minute you buy some more, you find the bolts you didn't find previously, and you ended up with extras. So it gives me a bit of an opportunity to not have to drive all over the countryside chasing stuff. I can dabble out of here and see how I go, and usually I can find something that'll do the deed. I'm only going to put 2 bolts in because they're an absolute pain in the ass to put in, because it's quite hard to get in here and then get them into there. So I'm just going to set it up, just put some normal nuts on it, and then when it's all sorted and that, and I pull it apart, I'll get it all powder coated, and when I put it back together again, it stays together. Let's go and see if it fits. A lot better than the other seat, much better. Better position, a bit higher, looking out over the top. Seat rotates a bit to get in and out. If you're big or small, still going to be helpful. Well, I've gone to start setting up to put the light bar across the back of the boat. I've got one on the back of my boat, and on the river, when you hit that light, it just lights up the whole back of the boat, and on a hot night, if you wanted to have a swim, the whole area is lit up. So I want to do the same on the back of this boat. I've got the light bar here, but I've already hit a problem that, as you can see there, this fitting here is too small, because the light bar's actually got to go that way and sort of rotate down towards the water's edge. So now I've got to make up a couple of new fittings for that. So that'll be our next job, get those made up, and then once they're fitted up, they can be powder coated black, and it'll look like I bought one. I've just made this bracket. I'm just going to cut it out now and see how it looks. I'm just recycling some of my crap. This is all aluminium that came out of the other boat when I gutted it to refit it. So I'll go and cut this out and we'll see how it goes. Bit heavy. Just going to make one more, the opposite. There we have our new brackets. They'll work really pretty good, I think. Left and right. I've got the light bar up. I put it upside down, but anyway, I've turned it over. It's sitting up much better, as you can see. Looks pretty cool. I've just tapped a few holes through it to put the bolts into. It's not bolted off properly yet, but it will be eventually. after I get the brackets powder coated, or I'll paint them, whatever. But yeah, looks pretty cool, I think. Just sort of breaks a bit of the white across the back of the boat as well, and it'll be good for swimming. And I've got a brand new microwave I'm gonna fix into here. Ooh, I could be a bit close to film that, but anyway. So yeah, I've got some brackets I'm gonna just bolt down through the shelf, and then I've just got a strap that goes over it, and when we put the rubber stuff down, this non-skid stuff, it won't move anywhere. And it's got the 240 power at the back, so when you're at a caravan park or something like that, or if you're running a generator, which this can do, you've got all these appliances you can run. So I'll get organised and get some parts sorted and we'll fit it off. It's a bit hard to film in here, but anyway, there's my cleats. I'm going to put a couple of bolts in, and that'll be my strap down points for that. There's the power point in there, all bolted in. I'm going to change those bolts later. They're just temporary ones because they're a bit short, but they'll do to set it up. Got the strap in, just going to drop the microwave in and zip it up, and that's done. All fitted in. I got a reasonable size one too. Some of the caravan ones are just too small for anything half decent, so this one's a reasonable size, mid-range size. Now I've just finished cleaning up my access hole into the front of the boat. That'll allow us to get in there and hook up the cables and everything for the headlights, and give me access into under the dash to wire them up. Put a switch in there for the headlights, and I think that's come up pretty good. I was just going to put a plate over it and then carpet it, but I think this is much better. It's accessible, it's easy, you don't have to go tearing the carpet up to get at it. When the trims come, I'll just put my carpet trim along here, cut in around there, and then we'll just cut the carpet around that, silicone, and screw that in. Won't be going anywhere. Watertight, seal tight, and accessible. One of today's problems I want to address, well, it's a problem, none of the other stuff's really a problem, but I think this is a safety issue. I need to address it. I'm just going to show you what's going on and why I need to address it. If you look at the steps here, at the back here, there's a cover which comes down onto the floor, and if you see down here, that's why I've extended the floor. You can see I've put that piece in there because this was sitting right on the edge of the floor and it was not sitting right. So by extending the floor, I can run the vinyl through there and it'll sit really nice. But the issue I've got here is when you come down the stairs, as you can see, your heel hits the back of that there, which means it's quite dangerous because you've got a just your heel on there, and if you slip, you can't really get a grip, and it feels very awkward coming down. Whereas if you're down here, you get your whole foot on it. And the steps up the front, they're fine because they don't have this cover there, so you can actually get your foot completely on the step. But this back step, it's just tricky, very dangerous. I've come down here and slipped myself a couple of times, so you really need to be going up, putting your foot sideways on the step like that to feel safe. So anyway, what I'm going to do is down the bottom down here, as you see here, there's a little strap, aluminium strip that goes on there, and that's just screwed into the floor, and that can really go anywhere. So because we've cleaned the floor up, I want to bring this forward. So the exercise is now to sort of jimmy this up a bit to get it forward far enough that this is not an issue anymore. So what I'm going to do is undo this, move it forward, block it, and just sort of have a bit of a look with my shoe and see if I think that's right. And then what we'll do is we'll make up some new brackets here, and they'll just go straight out. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be 80 to 90 mil to come forward, something like that. I've just got a bit of 90/45, bit of an off cut. I've just taped that onto there for the purpose of the exercise to test. Now I may not be quite right here, and this might have to slide forward. It doesn't really affect anything. I've got my battery locker here and some vents and switches, because even with the steps the way they were, you still had to take the steps out to access the battery locker, which is, it's a 2-second job. It's just those 2 clips here and here, and they just go into a little bracket either side, and it just comes forward on the strap at the front. So I got that at 90, and as you can see, that's how it should be. Well, that's how I think it should be anyway. So there's plenty of space there, even for somebody with a big hoof. I'm a size 9, so it's going to be fine. So I think 90mm will be the answer, and we'll cut this section here out and maintain our clips, and that'll go into the extension bit at the back at the same spot. So in theory it should all be the same, and it should all just clip back in like it was built for it, but as we know, it doesn't always happen when you're doing this sort of stuff. Well, when you're doing anything, just it doesn't always go to plan. You've got to adapt. All right, so that's good. So I'll just put that away now, and I'm happy with that. So we'll be able to get the sheet metal guy to make up those pieces, and he'll fold the pieces to make this up, because obviously you can't use the same material because it's a bevel cut, angle cut, which is longer, so it has to be made to suit that width. But we've got some stuff, I've got some stuff here we can fold up, weld it in. Now I'm going to start having a bit of a play. I want to change the sonar. There's nothing wrong with its position, but all this is everywhere. It's actually not through the boat, it goes to the outside of the boat, up the side of the boat, along the roof, and then comes down into the helm, through the helm window, which is a bit of a absolute mess. So I'm going to try and look at making or moving this up into this position here, and we'll probably weld a bracket on there to mount that to, and then my plan is to run the cable up into here, put another access point through here, which will then, I'll be able to come out through there, follow the hydraulics and the power line, motor lines through into the boat, and hopefully I can get through here. In there, this feels like there's room, a bit of mucking around, but I've got to get this plug through. But that plug went up over the roof, and as you can see, it came over the roof, ran down, and there's the 2 ends. One hooked into the other cable coming from the back, and the other one went through the window. So it's absolutely messy. As you can see, here's all the hydraulics and steering and electrics coming through. Now, because this is the planks, you can actually, it's got 3 compartments in a plank. They've cut a hole through there, and all these cables run up one of those compartments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, and I'm looking at picking up another one of those compartments, which is just below this line here, because I can see the join there, and hopefully bring that cable in and then feed it all the way through to the helm, and then pull it out there under the dash. It'll have its own channel to travel in, so because it's too tight up there to get that with the plug, so I'm going to try and create its own channel, or tap into the channel below it, and go from there. So I'll get rid of this cap for starters, so we can have a look. This is the middle compartment of that plank, so there's another compartment there. That's a rib, you can feel that there, and there's the other rib there, and then just below that is where I need to be. So I'm gonna have to hole saw a hole here and then get into there and go from there. Before I do that, I might head off and grab some bits and pieces, some electrical plugs and things, so that I can put them into the aluminium.